Saturday Showdown, T1 versus Hanwha Life Esports.
So interesting the fact that they banned specifically the Nautilus Leona and then went the Braum, you know, because I feel like the Rel handles the matchup a bit better than those two comparatively.
Yeah.
But maybe was trying to not give away their intentions. A lot of mind games. But so far, you know, I think a lot of dive potential on the side of Hanwha Life Esports with that top side that they have and the threat onto, you know, the Rise in particular. But I think Nongshim have a good amount of scaling in their Gwen. The Corki we've seen really ramp up over the later stage of the game. And the Rise as well. It just comes down to whether they can protect their backline when it comes to those team fights.
Yeah, I think that it can be a little dangerous. Jump into the Rift here for game number 1. Using the exhaust,
yeah,
which I think he could have probably just walked away, but instead trying to keep up that pressure for as long as possible.
Yeah, just all combat summoners just exchanged immediately.
And it's a bit of a see your death ward as over he goes. Oh, Q going to miss. It's going to be 2 more autos, but the tank was there.
Peanut, when he gets aggro at the end, still has a W to get away. He didn't have to burn flashes there.
The flash forward here from Delight as that's a couple more autos. The piercing light is going to get it for Viper, and now Lahens just having to beg his former AD carry to not kill him. And I don't know whether he's going to get his wish. Never mind. He will be able to make it underneath the safety of his turret.
Now,
all right,
for a potential fight. Peanut just wants to scuttle crab his team.
A little bit of a 4v4. There's the flash in from Lahens. The exhaust down onto Peanut, but the flash out from Gideon will spell his demise. And that's another kill going over to Viper. Concussive blows are just so broken as Lahens will get evacuated thanks to the Realm Warp, but HLE full control of every part of the map right now.
Play a dangerous game with them. And when you're 20 CS ahead already in the matchup with an assist as well, why would you?
Yep.
Why would you chance it?
Well, that is going to be the grub secured here by Nongshim. All 3 of them, in fact, going over to Gideon.
Flash in this situation just means the kill pressure for Kingen is non-existent now.
Well, this is also a difficulty as Viper with the culling is just going to layer it into Lahens' back. The Magnastorm comes down, but it's a bit late, and it's still the death of this Rel. Trigger has to get the hell out of there, and it's going to spell time here for HLE to take this first dragon.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Viper might be face-checking. Never mind. Shattering Strike will connect there as the Magnastorm comes down. They get the flash out from Viper. That's good news as Trigger almost just dies in this 2v1. Going between worlds for Zeus here as the needlework's going wide. And now everything's gone wrong in the mid lane. Peanut will just settle for the kill on Lahens. That's going to be his second of the game. You can see a bit frustrated in the player cam as HLE look to grab some more plates as there's the flash forward. Delight just says you're not allowed to be here, buddy. Welcome back to the LCK. There is an Aurora in the area. Peanut's making his way up as, oh dear. He shows them the door. Peanut's going to get turned on though. This could be a danger as he does use the Warrior Trickster to try and get out, but it's not going to allow him to escape. And Gideon's going to lock that one down. That shockwave onto 2 is so good out of Zeka though. And alongside the culling, they are just going to massacre them. Peanut did fall down. He's been doing that a bit so far this season as there's some snips for Kingen as he grabs one on the back end, but Zeus not wanting to let him leave. Concussive blows there as the Braum still helping even though he's off screen. Zeus, yeah, he's even got a command protect there to help him out. Kingen just doing the best he can, but it's just not going to be enough.
Power also
Bounty gold, right? All right, Zeus going to make a circle, try and get himself to the other side of it. Will be able to do so. Trigger going to be chasing after him here. Zeus still does a fair bit of damage, but there is the rocket. Oh, no! Oh, that is such a gimme.
You know what? Things have been dire.
Yeah. You're allowed to cope a little, it's fine.
That was a little bit less dire. Gideon has a gold lead. Quickly look at it before it goes away, quickly.
Well, Gideon is now going to have to flash to get out of the way of the shockwave. He will be able to at least do that. Rift Herald going to come down and allow this turret to be taken as Kingen realizing that he is just going to have a terrible time unless he teleports out, and he is going to be able to do that.
I hope you looked at the gold lead because it's gone now.
Yes. No, I did. Believe me, I did. It said 20, something like that. As Gideon clearing some things out, Viper coming on over, and will be able to at least get a cheeky Q off onto Gideon. And Delight just going to face check because he can. Throws down the ulti. Gideon getting a back massage, but does have the ulti to keep himself alive. Now the AoE's working. Shockwave lands onto 2 though, and immediately the Gwen and the Rel hit the dust. And down goes the Corgi soon after. Viper able to lock down that kill, and yep. I'm running out of those cope options there, Orcs, as HLE are just looking a little too strong.
Yeah, I think 4.3 Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a bit generous.
Well, we've got a Cyclone now as Gideon does use the ultimate pretty effectively. Mitigates Viper's damage, and in fact, no one's dead. Massive win!
This is looking like a 4.3% angle.
Oh, that was exactly what they wanted to see. We got a back angle to come on through here for both Delight and for Peanut, but we're running out of ultimates.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that some low H... Oh, whoa, there...
We are... What? No, Trigger! That was not even his fault! Oh, Calyx, why are we doing this? We're going between worlds as Zeus is just bouncing around the fight, picks up a triple. Peanut turns up, he's like, what the heck is going on? I guess I'll help my top laner get a quadra, and there it is for Zeus. Maybe that's what they meant. They were like, oh, what a throw, because Zeka threw them around. As speaking of which, that's another one. The 2-0-12. Oriana here doing pretty well as Kingin just trying to side lane. Zeus is in melee range with the Gwen. Sometimes that's hard, but not this time, as there is a kill for Viper. Just mopping up the Xin Zhao. Crescent Guard not going to be helping him here as Calyx. Where are we? We're winding up the clockwork here, says Zeka. He just needs another combo, and an attempted escape is just not going to happen.
Take the kill, Delight.
Oh, there we go!
Do the damage!
Powered up Q!
He's just showing up.
Yep.
You have a 25-stack Medjay from Zeka, so he's kind of pumping too.
Yeah, that was on 9 stacks.
Let him go!
Oh my god, he's kind of alone. The rest of them are now trying to turn up here. Zeus, yeah, bounces to the other side of the world. He's gonna kill Trigger one more time as Delight says, yeah, bring it on. Down to 200 health, not scared at all. Magnus Storm comes in, and then Magnus Storm goes out. Cyclone looking a little bit better than that, as now Gideon gonna get knocked off for the second time. Decides to go back in, because he knew there was no hope. And it's now an 8-0-7 legendary Aurora on the top side of the map as HLE pushed to win this game.
He recalled so he can restore everyone else's health. Look at this!
Oh, I thought it was going to be a damage redemption.
Wait, and Peanut missed it!
Yeah, he didn't manage to get in. That was very funny. As Zeus goes between worlds and just does so much damage to everyone. Zeka as well going to help out there as you've got also Viper just tearing them to shreds. There's that shockwave we were waiting for. And HLE, yeah, they make short work of Nongshim here in game 1. Having a look here at the damage graph, HLE did damage, and their opposition didn't do as much.
You know what, Delight, you really tried to beat out Peanut, and you were close. Good effort.
Very close.
Maybe need to build a little bit more damage next time. That's my only critique. Maybe use the redemption offensively for the true damage.
You know a game is pretty doomed when the Braum does more damage than the opposing Xin Zhao, though. And the big bad Brad. Yeah, Tempered Fate is a harder one to utilize effectively.
So, a lot of engage, very on theme composition for HLE, dive the backline and look for that. Nongshim, much more about kite back peel and play around those 2 late game carries and see if you can keep Calyx and Trigger alive and they can deal that DPS. Interested to see what King can do in this top lane matchup with the Silas into the Rumble.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't sound like the most fun matchup.
Sounds like you'll get roasted and toasted a bit, but maybe when you get some levels into your W, you can kind of sustain final in angles.
As we get onto the rift here for game number 2, Nongshim looking to bounce back. As Viper is going to get aggressed on. There's a flash forward from Trigger, okay. Zeka also taking a lot of damage here. Certainly do in the early stages of this matchup, but this is an aggressive start for Nongshim. But they missed, and so instead it was just throwing grapes across the room.
Trundle's mouth isn't big.
All right, there's a flash out, but the flash to follow immediately is Calyx. Not going to quite get finished off here by Zeka.
But does manage to keep himself alive, fortunately. Zeka nearly getting the angle there, getting there to save. I feel like barrier usage has become so liberal.
Yeah, I feel like everyone just presses the button. I don't even know whether I'm worried about it or what. All right. First grub going to be taking the flash forward from Delight. The flash out from Trigger is so awkward. Emperor's Divide hits the air. I hope that's what he was aiming for, as Zeka is now just going to get crushed here. Trigger follows him and grabs that kill. That's first blood as Peanut takes the magical journey to follow. Delight flashes into the red pit and does get himself away. Unless he was there, we just didn't really see him do very much. And it was just Zeka being turned on before much of anything could have really happened. I don't think he got an opportunity to even get his ult off. A Solar Flare is celebratory put down in this lane. Peanut moving in, Killer Instinct on top of Trigger. Viper gets the cleanse, flashes to pick up the kill onto the Sivir. Permafrost to lock down Lahens. It's a double here for Viper. And at least this game, Nongshim had a couple of minutes of feeling good before HLE decided to destroy them, as that Cosmic Binding is going to go wide. Gideon moving underneath this turret. There's a jump, but they don't have the scoop. All right, we've got another little bit of an engagement here as Lahens is in the river and is no longer in the river.
Always know you're on the right train of mind when a Cloud Soul comes up.
Exactly.
It's just factual proof.
As, Glacial Prison doesn't do a whole lot of anything. Maybe it's luring them into a false sense of security, though, as Zeka rebinds the soul very quickly. It's Delight, Meep slapping, having a good time, but otherwise not too much else is going to happen. But also, wasn't the Drake was just taken. Oh, Soul Flare is going to come through. Delight might just be dead, and he is. So there it is. Sometimes sticking around in a place that you don't necessarily need to be for a really long time pays off. And maybe it's going to continue to do so, or maybe they're going to get punished as the ulti comes through from Zeka. He rebinds the soul, though. The health bars are low. But Gideon, with that subjugate, he's very tanky. If he presses that button onto Peanut, they're not going to be able to finish off anyone. Still, to stop the pressure. No subjugate means that no real advantage here for the Trundle. And Emperor's Divide is going to throw Delight away, but he still manages to land it. Tempered Fate comes in, denies the Winter's Wrath damage, but Zeka just wants to come through, grabs that Q to take him down, and somehow it's in fact Viper that gets the kill, who just pressed R and said, no, I'll have that. I would have been really cute and confused as well. All right, I think we've seen this play before, but this time Zeka doesn't have the backup. He does unbind the soul. What goes out must come back, and he is just dead. Yeah. 7 seconds until the ulti was back, but I don't think that would have saved him either. And now this buys a little bit of time, make sure that this tower doesn't go down, as Rift Herald will be secured here by HLE. As far as that aggression is concerned, Peanut, can we find the ulti? The answer is no, and Calyx actually uses it as an opportunity to pick up Zeka. Now Lahen's making his way over, and the Sand Soldiers making short work of the Yone, making him look silly. That was a sick play from Calyx. Still HLE in the lead by just a little bit. They've also got the first 2 Drakes. It's going to be pretty comfortable as Gideon with a bit of a chomp. And now Trigger could be in trouble. There's the knock-up onto Lahen's. He has Eclipse, but oh dear, they are preparing the Sivir for afterwards. The Equalizer comes down. Killer Instinct here from Viper, who really wants to confirm a kill in this fight. Equalizers are everywhere right now as the Void Seeker comes on through, and Zeus, yeah, he's just a walking flamethrower. And even Shelly is getting involved here as Peanut chasing after Lahen's. Oh no! That's how he kills his former teammate. But yeah, they're taking Dragon, they're pushing mid, and they're pushing bot lane as Peanut cannot land an ult to save his life. Another Emperor's Divide gonna hit too, but this time the Pigeon Man is gonna go down. Peanut just one more and he's gonna be dead as Kingin and Viper are fighting. Viper now looking for one more Void Seeker. Wants to be able to destroy this turret and should be able to do so because Kingin cannot walk up, and there it is. And Zeka in the meantime, while all of this was happening, was just on this Drake. It was a 1-for-1 in the end, so this is actually kind of fine for Nongshim. Peanut's just trying to make that one happen. This does not quite work. I don't know whether, did Zeus kill Gideon in the end? No, he's not able to because Subjugate was still there. Gives him all that health back. But it might mean that this Otacon is going to get started from HLE and could be a dangerous time. Lahen's, the Eclipse is on cooldown. The Equalizer actually to break up the fight here as Zeka was looking for a bit of an angle. Doesn't quite get there. It's going to be a 50-50 as Trigger not going to get hit by that one. And it's the Brad that unseals the spellbook to get the smite. Emperor's Divide sweeps up 2 immediately. They do take down the Azir to punish him for that sick play, but it's still a big one. And what goes out must come back.
Like it's Viper vs. the world, and Calyx kind of destroyed
all of that money just spewing out of HLE as he went for that play. Absolutely massive stuff here for Calyx. Cloud Soul point for HLE. They lock this down. They're going to be running real fast as Kingin finds an Equalizer. The flash forward. Another ulti goes to Narnia, but the ult's there from Zeka to lock down Calyx, and this time the Emperor's Divide divides by 0, and it does absolutely nothing. Cosmic Binding is a flash there from Delight. He tries to get himself out of the play, but now it's the Viper show as he dives on top of everyone, gets the triple, and there's the follow-up. Quadra kill for Viper, and maybe it's just as over as game 1. There's not even Smite for Delight this time. In fact, no one really needs Smite. Viper is just going to take it before they do go for their Baron push, but instead, I think maybe they're considering just winning. An ultimate landed here from Peanut as Kingin. Just no chance to throw one back.
I did see it pop up when he built it, but I wasn't sure if it was legit. All right, let's continue with what's happening on screen.
Okay, Lahen's is dead. There is the Fate sealed as well, collecting 2. The Fate, the Tempered Fate, gonna hold them all together as Calyx trying to get himself out, but Trigger, no way to do so. And HLE, I think they're just gonna follow this next minion wave into the base, unless, no, there is a teleport back here. Delight bringing a redemption in. As there are teleports, in fact, coming from everywhere.
It's the same play, the recall TP redemption to heal up on the final push.
And they turned the equalizer into a 7. That was kind of cool on the ground there as Calyx. Oh dear, going for the play, does manage to find the rumble, but he immediately dies. You blink and you miss it. As there's the knock-up onto Kingen as well. Permafrost not going to come on through there as, yeah, Viper is going to be taken out. Zeka now looking to try and find something back, but they're very tanky, is Lehens and Gideon. Maybe not anymore now that the Eclipse is down, but then it comes back up again.
Trigger's up soon.
All right, well, I don't think Lehens is going to be killing Zeka at any point, and Trigger is going to respawn, so the game will continue.
Now we have time to discuss something in...
Well, Gideon,
yeah,
dead.
Not bad.
Well, sometimes he's one of Manamune. Another ulti going to connect there onto Lehens this time around. Zeka's going to look to finish that one off. The Fate Sealed comes on through, but his target, I think, was dead before he even made it over there. The Rumble grabs the double. Viper's going to finish off the Silas. We'll never see the Manamune value as Calyx once again finding an ulti. This time the Brad going to go down, but not before throwing out the Tempered Fate and setting it up for Viper to knock it down. Only Lehens left alive as HLE will complete the 2-0 and look a whole lot better than their first week. I think getting some good night's sleep has certainly helped out as they've moved to the second week of this round. HLE, and I actually think
crazy stuff.
And it really sets us up for HLE versus T1 that we also get this week.
Yeah, but this makes a strong case.
Yeah.
This makes a strong case, and I think it's just Viper.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as, you know, last time it was like the most easy Viper POM ever.
Yeah. This was like still pretty easy.
It's still pretty easy. He's not, he's making a good case for himself.
He's pretty good at the video games. And he's going to need to be in their upcoming matchup. Of course, the Nongshim matchup for the Legend Group for a lot of these teams is going to be the easy one. And Viper is going to pick it up, 500 POM points. He's really making his way to the top of those POM standings.
You know what it was for me? It was when Lehens had a flash Q him and he went through the bar gateway and dodged. That was just...
Yeah.
That was just disgusting.
Super sick. Look at this, a 4-way tie for 4th place. 500 points for Carrier, Showmaker, Owner, and now Viper.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Sierra for the POM interview translation, joined by Viper on the side of Hana Life Esports. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. You are the heart of the second consecutive victory. And this is your second POM in a row after that last match. You got 25 total kills today. An insane KDA, how do you feel? Honestly, I'm really happy. I don't think KDA is that important, so I think in-game wise, I feel like we did really well. Yeah, a satisfying game for you indeed. Let's talk about game 1. Through top and bottom early dive, you guys gained early momentum, creating a significant lead towards victory. And your Lucian got crazy fed. And you got 5 kills so early. So how did it feel? When I first got my kill in the laning phase, I thought that it was really great. It's a good start. But we kept winning trades, and it made us feel like we were at a huge advantage. And I don't think we did anything special towards the end of the game. And in game 2, we got your signature Kai'Sa alongside Bard. And of course, we saw this duo in the international stages recently. But ever since Ruler and Life played it back in 2020 spring, this was the second time we saw this duo. So what makes Kai'Sa and Bard so strong? Now, I don't know if I can spill everything, but I don't think Bard is the best support for Kai'Sa, to be honest. And just based on the draft and how it was going, we didn't really have a lot of options, so we had to work with what limitations that we had. And I think we just ended up picking the best outcome, the best possible picks with what was given to us. And in game 2, you just kept taking kills from the start and only had 1 death, closing it out with such a high kill count. So what does Kai'Sa mean to you? No, I played Kai'Sa for such a long time, since Kai'Sa's been out for a long time as well. So I think Kaisa is just one of those champions that I'm super confident in. And today Nongshim had Trigger called up as a starter, and it's been so long since you faced him back in 2020 spring. So without much data on him, how were you able to carry so hard? What is your secret? I feel like every AD carry that you see now is pretty much set, so I think we have a good expectation of what to see in the game. And I think I was just trying to make sure that I'm able to deny the enemy AD carry as much as I can. And this Saturday, you'll face T1 for a Saturday showdown. And last time in Road to MSI, T1 took you down and it is time for a payback. Now, I always say this, but every time we go against T1, I don't think anything is predictable. And so we will make sure that we are fully prepared to make sure that we can take them down this time. And with so many fans supporting you, would you like to say anything to them? Thank you so much for your support as always. And I hope that we are able to perform as well as we did today, next time as well. And that's the end of the interview with Viper, and back to the space. Thank you.